All right, casual geographic. Let's do this. Let's do this. This deer is so terrifying. Every time I see this deer, he's so scary. What just fell? What was that?
Consistently lied to your entire life, and the biggest source of some of the most unprovoked lies is school. School really told us that this dude in '92 discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than it.
I don't know how much of history is actually real. Therefore, when I'm gonna make my own history. When it's like 3000, when it's year 3000, they're gonna read a book that's all about this girl named Spite and how she did everything. She did everything perfect and how she was so amazing, and they're gonna revere me, okay? I think that's the word. Is it revere? I'm gonna write about how I solved world hunger. I'm gonna write about how I accomplished world peace and how I stopped all the wars, even though it's a lie. But I'm gonna make up my own history so that everyone just reveres me when it's when it's year 3000. They'll find the book and they'll think I'm perfect, and I'll be forever remembered. It'll be herstory.
It ended up being that writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken seriously. And my personal favorite, whenever a teacher would say,
guys, I actually learned how to write in cursive before I wrote in print, like regular writing. Oh, I love writing in cursive.
this won't slide in college. Whole time, your calculus professor at 5 p.m. can end up your beer pong partner by 11. But there's one mistruth that insists on being spread, and before we get to that, story time. So back in the 70s, ornithologists noticed something pretty disturbing, even for them. Fola is a remote island over 200 miles off Scotland, and for generations, migratory birds, specifically Arctic terns and one of the ops of happy feet, the skua, use it as nesting grounds to raise their chicks.
I just want to bird feed someone. I just want to try it.
And a group of ornithologists noticed a gruesome trend of chicks with pretty graphic injuries. Some chicks looked like they had a leg or two ripped off.
No.
Others the same, but with their wings. Some chicks even had their heads divorced from their body. For sure irreconcilable. And
Not the
while some of the
birds.
chicks somehow survived being mutilated, scientists had no idea what was causing this sudden rise in amputees. At
What
first
the
they guessed
frick?
otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to be neither.
Otters are menaces. I thought they were so cute. They're actually menaces.
You want to know what it was? I promise you'll never guess it.
What is
give
that?
you a chance to try. Comment
A
with
deer.
me. I bet you're wrong.
A deer?
Answer: sheep.
Sheep!
Scientists observed grazing sheep stumble across a defenseless chicken without a second thought or really even much of a prequel, grab them and eat them. Sometimes the sheep would snap off a leg for a premature drumstick. Other times they might grab one by the head and initiate a permanent separation.
Sheep, not sheeps. Sheep were the enemy this entire time. Sheep? I knew they were thugs. I knew it. They tried to convince us with their cute little furry selves, with all their wool looking like little adorable clouds. They were actually the enemy the entire time. I knew they were evil.
Swallowing skull and all whole. From 1973 to 1980, nearly 700 baby birds have been victimized by the business end of a carnivorous Q-tip. In the grand scheme of things, that's only a dent in the thousands of birds born in that time. Then again, nobody expected sheep to be involved in foul play. And that goes back to those lies I told you about. So in science class, we were taught this rule. Herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat meat, and those with culinary commitment issues are called omnivores.
I eat meat. I'm a carnivore, chat. Full-blown carnivore. I guess I'm technically an omnivore now. Technically. Because I ate a salad the other day. No, I eat fruit. I usually eat fruit, so I guess I am an omnivore, but I'm more of a carnivore. I love meat. Meat is my favorite food. Also, look at that raccoon. Raccoons are so cute, and I think they're underrated. They're never put on like the cutest animals list, and I think they should be.
And for a lot of us, that's where it ended, but of course, nature's more complicated than that. It's like a spectrum, and on one end you have obligate herbivores, as if they're obligated to eat just plants or starve to death. Here you got animals like koalas, sloths, and the dead-eyed plush toy, the bear cuscus. Then you have the same concept with carnivores, like cats.
They have chlamydia.
Kind. And smack in the middle are your omnivores. But there's also facultatives, and basically that means most of the time you'll find them at
facultatives.
Every once in a while they'll borrow a meal plan from the other side.
This man is so smart. This man is so smart. I'm over here like, what? What is this terminology? I don't even remember learning this terminology in biology, like at all. I remember like obviously omnivore, carnivore, stuff like that. I remember that.
Polar bears are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals, but rarely they'll switch it up to berries, seaweed, moss, and even straight up grass, which makes them facultative carnivores and not an obligate like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores.
Pandas!
This is gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality.
Yin-yang yogis!
But every once in a while, they surprise us. Like when this panda was caught in 4K eating a past tense wildebeest.
Look at him!
Jockey chased, caught, murked, and ate a peacock.
They think they're sneaky. They think we can't tell. And we don't have the evidence, but we do, little pandas. I don't understand how pandas and polar bears can look so cute. It's that whole like, oh, if shaped like friend, what is that? What's the saying? If shaped like friend, why? If dangerous, why shaped like friend? Something like that. These animals think they're sneaky, and they are not. They're not.
They've also been known to hunt pikas. That's a pika. So even though most of it goes down its gullet is bamboo,
so cute.
In the form of meat is never really off the table, which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not the only ones. Almost the opposite. Almost every herbivore you can think of is actually facultative, even the ones you wouldn't expect. That's how the Good Vibes vegan Aquablimp has also been
Aquablimp.
nets for themselves.
That's just a water dog.
Vegetarian shell jockey the tortoise, turning a rabbit carcass into a
That's morbid.
On and consume unlucky birds. To be fair,
bro, look how slow they try to snatch you though.
Unlucky birds. To be fair, if you can literally fly but get taken off the census by a
oh, never mind.
That's more about you than
that was fast.
There was even that time India released 25,000 flesh-eating turtles to deal with the whole corpse population problem in the Ganges. It didn't work, by the way. But
we have so many movies about releasing dangerous animals into the wild. I mean, they already come from the wild, right? But releasing too many dangerous animals into a specific area, and it ends up being an absolute problem. There are so many movies. What makes people think that releasing dangerous animals into a specific area is going to help? It's not going to help. We've seen the movies.
By far, the biggest culprit of covert carnivory are deer.
Yeah.
That's usually the poster boy for the middle child of the food chain.
I said that earlier.
They get calories from something like a past tense bunny. A couple years ago, researchers wanted to see just what happens to the human body after the soul evacuates, and basically set up these body farms to see how they decompose.
Okay.
As you can probably guess, photos would go viral featuring deer chewing on human bones.
Don't trust Bambi. Don't do it, chat. I'm telling you, all of these animals are secretly just Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. Yeah, they're acting, they're putting on this whole presence of I'm so cute, or I'm so normal. I guess Patrick Bateman doesn't do the whole normal, like cute thing, but I'm so normal, and they're actually killers. Deer, Patrick Bateman. Panda, Patrick Bateman. Turtles, Patrick Bateman. All Patrick Bateman.
Scavenging through the man-made remains like vultures. In 2015, researchers in North Dakota set up nest cams for a 24-hour live stream of the hatchlings, and not only did the footage catch deer enjoying an extremely late-term omelet, the cervids actually outdid the foxes and weasels in that area, i.e. the ones you'd expect that from. And it wasn't just them being opportunity merchants, some of those deer went out of their way to get to them.
Opportunity
Canada,
merchants.
were looking to study different species of birds and so trapped them using mist nets, only for the unhinged ruminants to stroll in and eat the trapped and struggling birds alive, right out of the nets.
Bro, the birds are the true victims. I swear, in like every animal that he's told us about, birds are the victim. But someone please save the birds. Come on, birdies, we gotta fly away. Fly away. I know they get caught while they're searching for food. That's what happens, you know, but it's like, damn, poor babies.
Growing up is realizing Bambi would have 100% turned on Thumper if times got tough. It's now believed that a nutrient deficiency and a
kangaroos
is really all it takes for an animal to go from herbivore to fernivore. Because one thing about animals, they don't care. They're not gonna pass down a chance for easy protein just because a textbook says they shouldn't. The twist is almost every herbivore.
Well, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're gonna start cooking things in the kitchen? They're gonna get out a, they're not like us. So obviously, it's like, you gotta eat. Eat if you gotta eat. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're starving, you eat what you gotta eat.
Or on Earth is facultative, meaning they'll take a page out of a predator's playbook if circumstances call for it. That's how you get normally docile horses treating baby birds like popcorn chicken, or that time cows in Australia were caught slurping pythons like fruit roll-ups, all because they were apparently fiending for phosphorus. Even giraffes. Yeah, they're not safe.
Look at his derpy tongue.
The motherland will often feed on the bones of other animals. Not really swallowing them, but more like licking and sucking on it. Pause.
Hey, yo. Okay. I didn't know giraffes were like that.
So their saliva can leach off nutrients like calcium and phosphorus. There have also been cases of the camel leopard cosplaying antelope snatching up birds to feed on their misfortune.
I love how whenever they bend down, they have to like do like a little dance pose, like a little leg spread. Giraffes are so fun to look at. I've been to the zoo multiple times. I love all the animals, but I will say giraffes are really fun to look at. They're not one of my favorite animals, but like just the way they move, so fun, so fun.
So far, we've learned 3 things. 1, most herbivores are about as vegetarian as their options. 2, baby birds are really the Kit Kat bars of nature. And 3,
they are.
See why Marty did everything in his power to get up out of there. His entire friend group would have had his hide if it got to that point. Which of course brings us to hippos. And this
the hippo.
Complicated. At this point, it probably surprises exactly none of you that the 4-legged assassination cetacean can have a hankering for flesh. Hippos have been seen eating carcasses and even resorting to cannibalism. It's complicated.
This isn't surprising at all. I said in another video, there was a meme video that we had where it asked who would you rather be spend 20 minutes with, a hippo, a tiger, a gator, or like a bear. And I chose gator, and someone was like, I said I definitely would not choose a hippo because they are like extremely aggressive. And then someone was like, they're not aggressive unless provoked. And I'm like, I feel like anything would be considered being provoked with a hippo. I feel like you could walk somewhere, you could dip your toes in the sand, and then a hippo will be like, yep, I don't like you. I don't like you. It's on site. And the next thing you know, you're hippo food.
Because for a while, we thought it was the same deal as before, just animals switching it up when their primary food source is compromised, which would make hippos facultative herbivores. There's that word again. Except more and more scientists are coming to the conclusion that hippos eating meat aren't just scavenging or being opportunists. It's just hippos hippoing, as in hippos will put themselves in a position to catch a body and subsequently feed on it. There have been reports of hippos murking livestock and seemingly predatory assaults.
12 cows!
Some believe hippos will purposely park themselves in a river migrating animals have no choice but to cross, just so they can turn the casualties into calories.
Oh.
Sometimes that involves punking crocodiles out of food. And of course, you already know, hippos are not above feeding off friendly fire. All this means hippos might not even be herbivores at all, but identify closer to the omnivore side of the spectrum.
Omnivores.
Now you're probably asking, what's the difference between a facultative herbivore and a straight up omnivore? And there's an answer.
Well, I think, facultative herbivore and an omnivore. Okay. I'm trying to figure it out in my head first. I'm trying to do I understand?
I just really couldn't tell you. Like, you could say facultatives eat mostly plants but can resort to meat as a fallback, where omnivores can normally go either way, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't just make that up on the spot. The moral of the story? It's way more complex than just putting labels on things and calling
Look
it a
at
day.
those
For example,
teeth!
this.
Oh!
That is a common
Look how cute they are.
diker, and it's an antelope less than 2 feet tall found in sub-Saharan Africa. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the only antelope that regularly eats meat. Along with the shrubs and grasses you'd expect, the meal plan for this antelope undertaker often involves combing through corpses. Along with lizards, frogs, small rodents, and, you guessed it, baby birds.
Baby birds!
Percentage of their diet requires other animals to
I'm about to be the lawyer for these baby birds. I gotta help them out, okay? I'm gonna become a superhero just to protect the baby birds. These poor birds. Oh no.
With the T silent, I'd call the diker an omnivore. But then you got this, the tree-loving, pretty
Squirrel?
rich acorn hoarders of the rodent world. Many will tell you that with a grocery list of mostly plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the squirrel is mostly herbivorous.
Are they evil
Squirrels
too?
are also infamous for raiding birds' nests and turning preemie poultry into protein. And yeah, they do this a lot. On occasion, you'll see squirrels pack up chickens and snakes. There was even a story of a pack of Russian squirrels ganging up on a stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive.
Not the dog! Squirrels are like that! They're like that! Oh my god, not the puppy! Oh.
With their share of flesh. Yeah, not so cute now. They're not the only rodents that
God.
go rogue either. Normally, grass-eating prairie dogs have been known to savage baby ground squirrels, and on rare occasions, even
Oh
eat the
shit!
remains.
Oh my god!
They do this by shaking the baby violently until their existence gets revoked. That's not even my worst rodent fact in the chamber. In 1995, a 43-year-old woman was found deceased in her flat with facial lesions and lacerations, and the fact that she was naked from the waist down.
Don't tell me rodents did this. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know there are stories of like rats eating people. There are stories of that, definitely for sure. There was literally a story like that in The Witcher of this girl getting eaten alive.
Responders thought it was a special victims unit kind of crime, except it was later determined that she had expired to pneumonia. The desecration of her corpse was caused by her pet golden hamster.
What?
Vessel. Law enforcement would find the hamster's makeshift burrow containing human skin, flesh, and muscle tissue.
I'm never getting another hamster.
Unknown cannibals, but what you might not know is that sometimes it can be caused by corn. Researchers at the University of Strasbourg found this out by accident when they tried to figure out why the female hamsters under their care kept dominating their own children. Through some likely traumatizing trial and error, they figured out that just a corn diet was even the hamsters missing vital crucial vitamins, specifically B3. They figured that out because once they added B3 back into their diets, the mother hamsters suddenly remembered how to mother. And the crazy part is, that can happen to people. Vitamin B3 deficiency can lead to pellagra, a disease associated with dementia and eventually dying.
That's awful. That looks so awful.
Really lead to spawn-wrecking rodents, and they're not the only known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example of...
Okay, first off, I already knew chimpanzees were the villains, all right? Let's just say that. There was that whole article about the chimpanzee that ripped off the face of that lady. I already knew chimpanzees were the villains. Look at this chimpanzee's face. This chimpanzee is he's letting you know exactly what he's about with this expression right here.
Animals don't care. Chimps have been known to life their rivals and devour the body.
Oh,
to us,
shit.
It's horrific and it makes chimps the spawn of Satan. To a chimp with no legal system or a sense of morality, just a will to live, it's common sense, murking your rival to protect your food supply and not letting easy protein go to waste. And before you judge, early humans reportedly made the brains of terminated children a somewhat regular part of their diets.
I'm not judging them, though. I'm not judging these animals for, like, when I say they're evil, I'm just joking around. It's the food chain. What are they supposed to do? Like I'm saying, are they supposed to bring out like the pots and the pans and be like us and choose whatever they want, you know? They can't choose whatever they want. So it's like, hey, I'm starving right there. Look at that baby bird. I guess I'll just eat it. I mean, it would also be really silly for me to say they're evil because like I literally just said I'm a carnivore myself. I eat meat. I love meat. It is what it is.
But I think people forget chimps aren't just violent pseudo-vegans. They're legit predators. As in, they'll work together in coordinated attacks on prey like colobus monkeys. Which, isn't all that different from getting disemboweled by a pack of Olympic-level parkour zombies. They've also
parkour zombies?
Baby, by using spears.
not them. They're so cute.
Them having carnivore tendencies should really be no surprise. The plot twist is, even the pacifists...
No! Sugar gliders are so cute, please. Please, not the sugar gliders. Anything but the sugar gliders, please.
So the great apes can be on predatory timing. Most people, including me about 2 weeks ago, see orangutans as a good vibes hippie vegetarians of the primate world. Which is almost true. Ginger apes eat mostly the stuff you'd expect, fruits, figs, leaves, maybe some termites to go with bird eggs.
I was already taught that orangutans are not as chill as you think they are. Like, yeah, when you see them at the zoo, they're like low-key vibing, They look like they're gonna put you on a quest in a video game or something. They seem like they're gonna have a walking stick or something, or tell you like a little poem or something, but I promise you, I know that they can be dangerous.
But then you got this, an orangutan tearing apart a slow loris.
Yep.
Someone known for being venomous. which orangs figured out how to neutralize by using the loris' natural weakness.
Yup.
Force trauma in the form of a bite through the skull. Now, to be fair, a meat-eating man of the forest is remarkably rare. But then again, chances are, before this video, a good number of y'all probably thought orangutans were only a threat to pieces of fruit. The same way a lot of people feel about toucans. Well, this
Toucan Sam?
which is actually what toucans are, the more you know, has also been known to put bats on permanent leave from life.
Bats!
Loops commercials ain't show you. They're also one of
I'm naming this toucan Ozzy Osbourne. Every toucan is Ozzy Osbourne from this point forward. Because he bit off the head of that bat. Ozzy the toucan.
the many animals on the list of population control for baby birds. Oh, you thought that was a mammal thing? Well, two can play that game. Yo, who wrote this? I did. I wrote it. I'm sorry. Birds in general will eat virtually anything that doesn't pack them up in the process. Seagulls have been seen scarfing down squirrels with zero remorse, and I'm pretty sure there's at least one person.
Holy shit!
Thanks to this flying antichrist.
Look at it gulp that down.
Is what happens on Malus Island. This is where we go full circle.
This happened to me with my funnel cake, chat. This is exactly what happened to me. I had funnel cake, and then this bird came by and was like, seagull, little bish, came by and took not all of my funnel cake, but took some of it and bit me in the process. Oh God, oh gosh, they're little demons, I'm telling you.
This island off the coast of South Africa is a nursery for the thousands of Cape Gannets nesting here, which would probably be a good idea if someone ain't snitched to the pelicans, because a population of white pelicans started traveling to Malus.
Who is the snitch? Who is it?
Gannet chicks whole,
whoa!
Right in front of their parents. And if one was unlucky enough to have both parents out at sea, that's just an easy link for this attack on Titan pterosaur. It gets worse when you realize that half-digested, fully molested baby birds often end up being regurgitated for the pelican progeny to eat.
I'm not gonna lie, if I had these guys as sleep paralysis demons, I would start crying. Like, look at their mouths. Oh no. Oh
You
no.
thought they just ate fish. Predators come in many forms, and one island in the Pacific is home to one of the most unlikely. Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs.
Oh no, I'm not looking at this. F this, I'm not looking at this. They are, no, they give me spider vibes. I'm not. I refuse.
Homicidal hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass.
Not me with arachnophobia looking at this. Hell no.
The killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own.
No, no, no.
Especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This video was taken of a crab after it had snapped the hollow bones of a sea.
Nope.
The part you don't see is where a group of crabs arrived at the injured and incapacitated avian and proceeded to tear the bird apart. They've also been known to make a meal out of rats, cats, and maybe even humans.
Not the cats! I'm not watching, but I'm listening because I'm horrified.
Was that a cluster of crabs got to her before anyone else could. And the worst part? There's no guarantee she was relieved from life by the time they got to her. Because even though Mr. Krabs on creatine normally goes for fruit, just like most animals on Earth, they're only as vegetarian as their options. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, speaking of which, my eye's fine. I got LASIK, so I look like I lost the fight, but I also got the gift of sight, so... Alright, peace out.
So basically, animals are not exactly how we expect them to be when it comes to what they eat. You know, it's kind of like well, I like to eat this, but if I don't have that, well, I'm going to eat this type of thing. Like, yeah, I like fruits and vegetables, but not talking about me specifically, but like, I like fruits and vegetables, but if I don't have them, I'm gonna eat this. It's just so crazy seeing these like really small, cute animals being absolute menaces to society. You know? Because he did educate me, because there are some that I was like, what? What? They would eat like their own kind. Like that's crazy. That's like how chickens eat. Chickens will literally eat themselves. Not themselves as in like their self, but like they'll eat other chickens. It's crazy. Look at this pelican in the cop car. Take him to jail right away, straight to jail right away.